If you've never felt fear before, then you're probably not human. Now, the question is fear your friend or is it a foe? Is it something that many people want to call it an enemy per se? Well, here's my take. One thing that you really want to pay attention to when it comes to fear is that you're able to listen to the fear, but it's not driving your life. So a great analogy is this, and it's not mine. Basically, you imagine that you're driving the car, it's your life, and fear is sitting at the back seat. And fear is allowed to share its opinion, right? However, fear cannot dictate the direction you're going to drive. It cannot dictate the temperature of the air conditioner. It cannot dictate the music on the radio. It cannot dictate whether the windows are going to be down or up. So yes, when fears come up, by all means, you could listen and say, what is it I'm afraid of, as opposed to trying to suppress it? And is there a valid concern here, right? There may be a valid concern that you get to address. But the fact that you're worried about whether there'll be traffic or worried about whether there'll be places on the road for you to ease yourself or buy things, right, to eat, does not mean that you're not going to take the trip. So you can leverage fear as an ally to make sure that the journey you're about to embark or the thing you're about to do is done in the best or safest way possible. It becomes a problem, however, when fear starts running you, when you start believing that the concerns that come from that fearful space are truth and are fact. The issue with fear is that that is what is underlying stress. When we are in fear, when we are anxious, when we are worried that things will not get done or something is going to happen to us or to someone that we love, this puts our bodies under immense amount of stress, which is why it's extremely important as soon as the fear comes up, before it has the time to start creating that chemical cocktail of reactions that basically do not feel good. Your adrenals are at 120 an hour, you have adrenal burnout. I mean, it's just not pretty. You want to be able to take a breath and ask, what is it I truly need? What is it that gets to happen so that particular scenario can be avoided or handled in the best way possible? Every time you go outside your comfort zone, there will be some level of discomfort. In fact, some shifts outside your comfort zone, you will be confronted with what Bob Proctor calls the terror barrier. Do not run away from those terror barriers. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it may feel like you're dying. Yes, your old self is dying. Congratulations. However, it is only beyond this barrier, only beyond that current limit, that your dream lies, that the next level of yourself lies. The discomfort you're feeling is not a sign that it's not a good idea. Discomfort you're feeling is simply a sign that your amygdala is, I don't know the situation, let's send signals, it's unknown. And there's a huge confusion with the unknown and the unsafe. In fact, I would like to say that sometimes your current situation, your very known situation, is the most dangerous to stay in. If, for example, you're in a relationship where you're being abused, you know it, it may have become your comfort zone, but it's unsafe. If you have been playing small for years and that those gifts and talents have not been allowed space to express themselves, and if you continue on this trajectory for the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you will not fulfill your potential. It may be the known, but it is dangerous. It's unsafe. and actually not fulfilling your potential due to fear of failure, due to fear of criticism, due to perfectionism, can be a very stressful experience. Many people think that stress or burnout only comes because you basically are doing too much, but there's such a thing as the pressure of doing too little. As human spirits, like having this experience, coming here to really fulfill something, to fulfill a calling of whatever it is, not doing what we're meant to do is resistance. And the bigger your gift, the bigger your talent, the bigger the thing it is that you're meant to do, the more resistance, unconscious or conscious, you get to put, which is draining in itself. So unequivocally, fear is not your friend. It may come up, and that simply means there's something that gets to be addressed. However, it's essential that you understand that you may use it as a signpost. You may listen to its opinion. It, however, does not get to run your life. So I ask you right now, what would you do today if you were not afraid? What have you been putting off for months, years, decades because you are afraid? And what do you get to do now to shift that relationship with fear so you leverage it? It does not own you. I'd love to hear your comments. Let's go. The quicker we accept, the quicker we recognize, the quicker we shift. And you have big dreams that the world gets to see. I am excited for you. Love and light.